All right, we're gonna start this video over again because I started to ramble too much. All my videos are rambly, but sometimes I ramble too much for even me. So today video I'm gonna talk about motivation, drive, passion, aggression, and the TRT thing. Because I always think, and this is, I guess these are videos kind of for me, in case just to ramble, get it out of my system, and in case I ever look back on it someday. But whenever I think about, man, how bad my fatigue is, I'm always like, should I finally do the TRT stuff, Because I've been getting offered TRT since like 2012, because of my testosterone results and everything like that. And I could have had low testosterone even before then, but it just was not something that was normally checked, right? I've seen tests before then that, I've seen when like I was like a teenager, I had like testosterone like a 400 or something like that, you know what I mean? And that's obviously not good, right? And, around 2012, I think is when I started getting it checked more regular because I saw it was low. And, they started, because I had that tumor downstairs too, right? And I was getting that stuff checked out. And, I say that's one of the things that I feel like the testosterone thing is always something that, like, I wonder if that's going to be the one thing that maybe I'll regret that I did not start taking testosterone right when I started getting, offered it, right? And, I've tried to be as healthy as I can be. And, I've been able to get, like, my regular testosterone, up a little bit to more, like, normal sort of levels sometimes. But the free testosterone is always, like, absolute shit. You know what I mean? Like, the levels of, like, an 80-year-old man, right? And it's not like I have, like, no sex drive or aggression. Well, I guess I'm not very an aggressive person or, like, a very angry person, which is what I'm going to talk about in this video, too. But, I've always been just, the fatigue is so bad. And, again, it's the free testosterone, and it's like nothing I do raises that, right? You know what I mean? And I'm just always surprised when I see, like, my friends, this guy that I'm staying with now. And, man, he has really bad, like, sleep apnea, dude. Like, he snores so bad, but he still is, a go-getter, so to speak, he must have a high sex drive, And it's not like I have no sex drive, you know what I mean? But I'm sort of like, I'm kind of like a bipolar sex drive, you know what I mean? Like, I can get turned off, like, really easily, almost. And the fatigue is so bad. I'm just always so tired, but I'm just always worried that I'm going to be one of those people that does testosterone and, all my hair is going to come out or something like that. Because obviously, my hair is pretty sensitive, you know what I mean? If you think about, it doesn't take much for me to go into a shedding phase. The one good thing that I'm lucky is my hair tends to grow back my hair tends to grow back pretty fast. You know what I mean? But look at this. I'm like in my third COVID shed still. You know what I mean? I always compare myself to. I have like a strong sort of shield around me. You know what I mean? There's like a good sort of defense wall up against me. Because as I fall asleep trying to make this video, there's a strong shield, protecting the castle walls, so to speak, I guess. The castle walls are strong, but because I keep myself so healthy and I try to be as fit as I can be, but there's just absolutely, once the defense of the castle is broken, once you get into the castle, you see there's no foundation whatsoever. And once I get sick, I'm just, there's just nothing to protect me once the shield is cracked, I guess, so to speak, right? And I keep thinking about this every time, dude, over and over throughout these past, like, over 10 years now since I've been getting offered. It's like, man, shit, will this be the one thing that I actually regret in my life, that I take testosterone and I don't actually have all the potential side effects? It doesn't take me a long time to get into a sweet spot. You know what I mean? I actually have the energy because, the chronic fatigue is so bad. And I've even seen some studies that say, cluster headaches and, migraines can be partly due to, hormone problems. And of course I have other hormone problems with all the thyroid stuff, but I'm just so worried that I'm like, oh, It doesn't take much for me to start shedding my hair. And like I said, I have my own vanity. You know what I mean? God, I always feel like, man, I don't want all my hair to come out, and it's just depressing now. Like I said, I can't believe I just had, God, that first time I had COVID, 2 months of really bad shedding, worse than even when I did radiation. But then 6 months, no hair loss whatsoever. Got COVID the second time, I got long COVID. I had 5 months of shedding. Then I had about a month break. Then I got COVID again for the third time. A couple months later, now I'm shedding again. It's like, dude, come on, let me get like back to base. I don't know. That's the kind of. I know it's a stupid thing. We all have insecurities. Like, I'm trying to keep my hair, bro. And I worry that maybe I'll be able to pick like back or all this acne or some shit. But I think about, like the fatigue. Cause I'm just so tired all the time. It's like, man, dude, such a struggle to do stuff. And I see stuff like dudes can go out drinking, they work all day. And my friend, like I said, he has really bad sleep apnea, dude. It's like, how do you have energy when you sleep? I hear you, the way that you're sleeping, it's not healthy, dude. And even man, I have like a very, very small little sleep apnea kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like I've done the test that, I do wake up sometimes and I'm like choking and I can't breathe, but it's not like terrible, but it's enough that I could get like a CPAP machine even. But man, I think about, some friends like, wow, you are so bad and you still have energy. How? I don't know. It's just shit I think about. And I also think about from like I was thinking about from like getting, again, this is like not really a Japan video, but sort of like an aggressive, mean kind of thing. Like I feel like when I think about all my haters and weird things in life, I think about there must be like a desire or like a passion or like an anger. And when I think about that, I think about like aggression, sort of like a motivation. There must be a motivation to lie, to talk shit about someone, to make up all these things, right? And a lot of times when I see my haters, they're always, making up some kind of bullshit. And I think about it, it's weird. It's like, dude, do you know that I can't even think of the last time that I've lied about something? And I was kind of thinking like, man, I wonder if the desire to lie is even partly sort of like a hormone thing, like an aggressive kind of state. You know what I mean? An aggressive state, like to succeed. To succeed, I must lie about somebody. Now, of course, I have my own reasons for the way that I am. I'm just a very moral kind of person. But it's very strange to me that I see people talk about like, oh, Clayton is so evil. He's so paranoid. Look at how mad he is. And I always just think like, man, have I ever sounded like mad, or do I ever yell in my videos? I'm just like, do you ever see me lie about even anything? Like, I don't even think, I was thinking like, yeah, I guess we all probably do like little white lies here and there and little exaggerations. But I was thinking like, man, do I even really exaggerate about anything? And I was like, God, I don't even know if I do that. And I'm like, I had to think, I was like, do I even exaggerate about things? Do I do like white lies about things? And I'm like, not really. And I was like, I see some people, again, when I see messages from haters like, oh, Clayton says he plays on a broken controller. And I'm like, I was like, I guess, I was trying to think of like, man, I don't even lie. Do I even white lie? And I'm like, well, I guess, and I was trying to think, it's like, I guess my haters do say that I play, or I talk about how I play on a broken controller. And I'm like, would that be a white lie or an exaggeration? Because technically the controller still works. You know what I mean? It still sort of works. It just doesn't work in a fighting game context. Like, could I play an RPG with the controller? It's not that broken. It's not legitimately broken, like it won't plug in. You know what I mean? Although I can't say, even on that, I guess I could technically say, for a game like Star Ocean 3, because I've tried to play. If you ever played Star Ocean 3, the buttons, how you press it. If you press the button for too long, and there's that one part with the dragon flute, if you know what I'm talking about, where you got to play the dragon flute and you have to hold down certain buttons in certain ways. I can't say the controllers are too broken to do those parts. Like, the controllers will not press it because of how like jacked up some of the buttons are and that kind of stuff. But I mean, what I'm getting at is, could I play a Final Fantasy with those controllers? Yeah, I could. So I guess they're not that broken. Would that be a white lie or an exaggeration? maybe in that context, but they're not like good for fighting games if you see the way the controllers work and they randomly, buttons don't work correctly. It's not, they're broken in that context, right? But even like, look how anal I'm being. Look how anal and like picky I'm being. It's like, man, dude, maybe I'm thinking like, is there like a mood problem with me that I don't get mad? Is there like a mood problem with me that I really, so many people, try to say that I make drama videos for money, which we've seen isn't true. And I didn't even start calling out people until people started bragging that they were making money by lying about me. And I'm like, oh fuck, geez, I guess I should probably call out people. And then people were finally like, whoa, you mean this? I had no idea the stuff that these people were saying wasn't true. It's like, I don't know, it kind of shows how fucking gullible you are. And I think it kind of shows you're a fucking retard if you, I mean, to be honest with you. But, but I think about that. I'm like, man, is that a testosterone problem even there? The fact that for so many years people lied about me and I kind of just took it, you know what I mean? I was like, whatever. But then again, part of me is like, listen, the stuff people are saying is so fucking retarded. How the fuck could anyone believe this, especially when you can see the pictures in the video? So it's like, I'm always kind of like going back and forth, right? And I'm always kind of thinking, and I also think about my drive and my passion. I'm kind of like people hear me talk, I'm kind of just a subdued kind of person a lot of times. I don't get excited when I do crazy combos. I've seen people like go, oh, I hate Clint's like, oh, I did this crazy combo, blah, 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 blah. And I hate the way he talks and his voice. Even though actually a lot of people tell me they like my voice. Mostly girls, I guess, but you know what I mean? But I don't get excited. I'm not like a passionate person. And I'm like, is that a testosterone problem? That I'm like, yeah, I did this fucking insane combo. I found this new tech that no one had ever done before. Everyone wanted me to fail. You know what I mean? Everyone wants, and I still did it. And it's just like, and I'm like, is that a testosterone problem? Or is that just to me like, I've been there or done that. I knew I could do it, So I keep going back and forth. Is it actually like legitimately, I do have hormone problems, you know what I mean? And I could medically be prescribed, medicine for it before. But, so I guess it could be both, but I don't like the idea. I try to take the least amount of medicine as I can, And on that subject too, it makes me think, man, from a certain perspective too, excuse me, I don't have a lot of positive vibes, right? You know what I mean? I'm always thinking like, man, there's not a lot of, I'm kind of like the dude, like I'm trying to think like that, like an animal getting beat up in the road who keeps, going on. I feel like, you know what I mean? Again, my whole life abused growing up, very unpopular at school, then kind of lickety split, just out of nowhere, I became quotation marks popular, but I reached a certain bizarre level of popularity where I was so popular that people would still hate on me because like, oh, you must have an easy life because of how you look, or so, like I said, the level of popularity that I achieved, it's like a bizarre level of being popular enough that you can still get hated on, right? Because I've talked about it before. But the point is like, there's always been a lot of negative vibes thrown at me, right? Like I've never had like a positive like support system, thinking about it, right? I even think about the video game stuff, right? Like there was only a very, very small time in the video game community where I was popular, right? And I thought about and thinking about those videos before, people as being objects, right? A lot of people, if you realize, and I've realized, they only wanted to be my friend because I was winning. They didn't actually want to be my friends, And even look at those guys I talked about recently. Like, wow, like I said, the only kind of somewhat true thing they said was that, you're useless to us now because you're only good at playing or good at video games and getting girls. And they kind of called their own bluff, right? By saying that, oh, they're old now, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And, I've said before, people think I play a lot of video games, but, I barely do not play a lot of video games, dude. Even when I see real friends in real life, we don't even really play games anymore. And so, from a certain perspective, if me as an object is only good for getting girls and playing video games, and even when I see friends, I've said before, I don't really play games, then you could see me as an object, as a tool. The tool has no use to these people. All right. But the point of that is, like, there's not a lot of positive vibes. Like, I've always said that I've succeeded in being the best tech guy, combo video guy, the best person ever in terms of fighting games, of being able to change the perspective on what is going to be possible in a game and to anticipate it, to, predict it of all time, right? And I did that despite people wanting me to fail. I didn't do that with a support system. You know what I mean? And I think about the motivation and everything. And maybe people would say that if the motivation is not financial, you know what I mean? Which, of course, I would not mind making money off of everything. You know what I mean? I'm not against it, but it was not the main reason, and it's the same reason why I still, continued to push these games, because I just wanted to prove that I could do it, right? And that's not to say that no one has supported the channel throughout all these years. There's a few people indeed who have, they've supported a good amount, I would say, and I'm appreciative of that. And, there's here and there people, but, in general, there's been, a lot of negativity and, hate for what I've done, right? I've had so many problems and so many obstacles that people have tried to say it's fake, because they, with less obstacles, have not been able to succeed at what they're trying to do. But the point is, even if you succeed, it's still, you're like kind of poisoned, right? You know what I mean? You're winning the battle, but you're leaving the RPG, and it's like, fuck, I'm still poisoned. I got to go heal somewhere, right? And I guess the point is, thinking about the testosterone and the motivation from that aspect, it's like, man, I don't have a lot of positive vibes either. And it makes me think that, and again, I'm not sure how much, because again, even when I look at my tests and the more healthy that I've been trying to be throughout all these years, ever since the dying stuff, even when I can raise, the testosterone a little bit, the free testosterone is always still low, and, chronic disease is what they say that is about. But, so again, there's obviously a real medical reason. But, the mind is a powerful thing, too. The mind is, people have been surprised by, how much I've been able to do, to push myself, basically teaching myself to walk again at one point. I've never lifted 50 pounds, even when working out, just, killing myself doing high reps of low weight. You know what I mean? Working out next to garbage cans, getting sick. You know what I mean? God, it's crazy. I mean, people don't even, winning all those tournaments as a kid. I even said before, you can go look at all the pictures. Every picture of me, I used to wear khakis because I would carry a garbage bag around in my pocket, in case I had to go get sick. You know what I mean? I was getting sick in between matches, and I was still winning. Like, the mind is a powerful thing. It can, push you, right? And I think about, of course there's a medical reason for the hormone stuff, but I do think that it's weird that, I think people, even those Japanese guys, like, wait, but you're the cool guy. You're supposed to fuck all the girls. Who cares if they're not good looking to you? Like, why you not have sex with them? Why? You're picky. Why are you picky? And, part of me thinks, like, is it that weird that I'm picky? Like, maybe that is my role. Maybe I just need to accept that, and again, like I said, it's not that I have, like, no sex drive or something like that, but it, of course, it's a very bipolar sex drive, you know what I mean? Especially when I think about, man, is it that weird that I'm the quotation marks cool to guys to some people? I'm such a fake quotation marks cool guy that some girls actually get mad and be like, no, I know you're already having sex with too many girls. That's the fake level of popularity. And I've said before, I'm a sort of disingenuous social proof I have, which, go watch videos about that if you don't know what I'm talking about. I have a disingenuous amount of social proof. It seems strange that I'm not, the way that I am, so to speak, right? But yeah, I'm thinking about, the mind is a powerful thing. I've been able to force myself to do so many certain things, but also, you know what I mean? again, there's not a lot of positive vibes. I'm succeeding in what I've done, not through a lot of things. A lot of things, monetary, financially. I don't succeed at all. Not very well. But through certain things, again, I succeed despite people wanting me to fail. But at a certain point, again, I keep going back and forth. Should I actually try this testosterone thing? I'm like, man, obviously there's legitimate medical reasons. And then sometimes I think, man, where's the positive vibes though? The positive vibes are few and far between. And when I do have them, there's always, God, I always think about how legitimately crazy are the people that hate me. Like I legitimately think that I wonder if I like reported some of the people. Could you think they'd literally go to a hospital? You look at some of those people and look at some of their excuses where after they get caught, like, what was that one guy? Well, even though I said you were doing all this and I found out you didn't, it was my opinion that you were doing it, so it's fine. It was your opinion that it was a fact that I did it, but now that I didn't do it, it was, people are legitimately fucking insane that I think they hate me. And I'm like, man, but even if they're insane, okay, let me say, even if the people that hate me are legitimately insane, if you think about the things that they're saying, maybe there's a high testosterone motivation to be able to lie like that because their desire to succeed and to step over other people. Maybe that's a sign of testosterone or motivation. I'm not sure if you get what I'm saying. Anyway, this video is way too long. If you like videos, like, subscribe, comment, share, support the channel if you want. Appreciate it. Thanks. The end.